Welcome to Explaining the Medical World. My name is Carissa, and I'm here today with cardiologist Dr. Chloe Marks. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. The study of atherosclerosis has always been near and dear to my heart, and I am very excited to share my knowledge on it with you today.
So, you're here to help with explaining the medical condition atherosclerosis. Would you mind telling us a bit about it before we go into the nitty-gritty for our listeners?
Sure. So, atherosclerosis is when the arteries in the body harden, or basically get blocked with plaque.
That sounds absolutely awful, but what exactly is plaque buildup in the arteries?
So, plaque is the ongoing buildup of fat, cholesterol, and calcium in the arteries. The artery's main job is to deliver blood to all parts of the body, and that process is interrupted by plaque acting as a blockade.
So, to give our listeners an idea of where this disease usually takes place, what organ system does this disease affect?
So, it affects the cardiovascular system. And to fully allow you to understand how atherosclerosis works, let me get a little deeper into it. So, first of all, the heart and circulatory system make up your cardiovascular system. Your heart works as a pump that pushes blood to the organs, tissues, and cells of your body. Blood delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell and removes the carbon dioxide and waste products made by those cells. Blood carried from your heart to the rest of your body through a complex network of arteries, arterioles, and capillaries. This also allows for the blood to pick up nutrients, gases, and wastes to transport it to where it needs to go, whether that is the muscle or kidneys or other important areas of the body. There is a fluid balance in the body. This is important and helps with keeping the body at a nice temperature, or having it be thermoregulated. Thermoregulation is what allows your body to maintain its internal core temperature. And last, but most certainly not least, it helps the body stay safe from infection and blood loss through having the white blood cells and platelets in the blood.
So, now that we know what plaque is and what organ system atherosclerosis affects, what other medical problems can arise from having atherosclerosis?
This actually can cause quite a few problems, an example being a coronary.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what a coronary is for our listeners out there?
Of course. Well, a coronary is shorthand for a coronary thrombosis. Coronary thrombosis is a blockage in the arteries, most caused by blood clots. This often leads to a heart attack and sometimes death.
So, considering atherosclerosis can cause heart attacks, does that mean atherosclerosis only happens in the arteries around the heart?
No. This can actually happen to any artery in any part of the body. As long as there is a buildup of plaque, there is a possibility for the plaque to harden in the area that it sticks to.
Well, that's actually terrible. I can't stand having plaque build up on my teeth, let alone my heart. So having this really isn't really an insignificant issue. Do we know what could possibly cause this?
There does not seem to be exactly one reason that this happens, but there is a strong correlation between atherosclerosis and unhealthy lifestyle choices as one of the main reasons that this is happening. For example, self-destructive habits and tendencies often create notable damage to the body.
Now, unhealthy lifestyle habits. Would that include not exercising and eating less healthy food? Because I'm not gonna lie, I really like my fries. Like fries all the time instead of the gym. I try to go to the gym, but like fries first. We know that eating well can affect how our body is acting, but to what extent with this disease?
So, yes, food and exercise are a big factor in atherosclerosis and the negative effects that it has. Your body breaks down carbohydrates and fats from food in order to create energy. So, what you put in your body is crucial to how it will behave and treat you back. Exercise is very important to treating your body like the temple that it is.
Wow, I've never really thought of my body as a temple. Thought it was a little bit more like a McDonald's. But makes sense. So now that we know how to improve our health, what are some things that we should avoid?
Although there are many ways to put your body on the path to maintaining great health, there are also ways to steering it clear away from the path and off a cliff. For example, smoking causes arteries to narrow and makes it hard for blood to pass through. This creates horrific consequences not only for your heart, but other organs that are working just as hard, such as the lungs and throat.
That's horrible. So now that we know we can help and hurt our bodies, is it possible to be prone to atherosclerosis even if you do everything right?
Sadly, yes. If atherosclerosis runs in your family, you have a higher chance of having it as well. Another factor is if you are obese or have diabetes, you are more prone to having atherosclerosis as well. Those born with genetics such as these may already be on the path to a decline in health, even if they're doing everything right when it comes to their bodies.
I couldn't even imagine. I should probably check with my family, and all of our listeners out there too should check to see if anyone in their family has atherosclerosis.
Yes. Although some people may be more prone to it, there is a plus side to being a Montanan.
Ah, yes, our beautiful big sky country. Could you expand a bit more on that, please?
Of course. Those who live in Montana are often less likely to have atherosclerosis due to the fact that they are usually more actively involved than the average American in their community, due to the fact that we have mountains to hike, rivers to kayak down, and many other outdoor activities that we take part in to create a healthy lifestyle for ourselves.
So, although Montanans are less likely to have atherosclerosis, is there hope for those who do not live here?
Yes. Science has made many medical advances in order to combat this disease. For example, bypass surgery and heart stents are two of the more common treatments for this disease.
Oop, that reminds me. My papa had a heart attack due to atherosclerosis and needed a bypass surgery to treat his disease. Could you explain to our listeners what a bypass surgery is?
Yes, of course. So, during the surgery, they take a part of an artery in a different part of your body and attach it to the beginning of the blockage and the area after it. This will create a literal bypass of the plaque buildup and allows for your heart muscle to get the blood it needs.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that he had the surgery. Now he just needs to work on his eating habits and his exercise habits to make sure it doesn't happen again. But wow, science has really made new and improved medical advances in order to help those affected by certain diseases and to combat them. And we also know, or you had said before, that there was a stent procedure. Is that a little bit more common or less common than bypass?
It is often more common than a bypass surgery due to the fact that it is usually easier to have.
Well, that's great news. And yeah, well, I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you, Dr. Chloe Marks, for being on Explaining the Medical World this morning. And for all of our listeners out there, we'll see you next time when we will be discussing asthma. Let's take a breath and talk about it.